we are on our way down to Dunnottar Woods, down in Stonehaven, and I've been down there before. I was down there a few weeks ago just to scout out some locations so that I knew what I was going to shoot when I was to go down to make a YouTube video. Last time I was down there, I did some B-roll footage, some testing of the GoPro, just to get used to shooting with it and shooting some cutscenes and things like that for it. So I'm going to drive down there and I'll check back in with you when we arrive. Okay, so we've just left the car park. I'm just walking down into the forest, into the woods, and I'm hoping, I've put my wellies on, I'm hoping to get into the water so I can get some shots low down in the river, and that will create some nice interest in the foreground as well. So I'm going to head down there and I'll check in with you in just a minute. Okay, so I'm down at my first location, and as you'll see to my right, you'll see the waterfall just coming down. And over the past few days, there hasn't been as much rain as we would normally get. It's been quite dry, so there's not as much flow to the river as there normally would be. But nevertheless, that'll still create an interesting composition from what we've got at the moment. At least there's water coming down. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use different lenses. I'm going to try a few different ones. I'm going to try my 70 to 300mm lens. I'm also going to try my 18 to 35 just so I can get more of that waterfall in the shot. If I was to use my wide lens, I would have too much of the sides and everything in. Maybe it might work. I'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. Great, so I found my first shot. As you'll see, I've got the camera set up here with the waterfall in the background. Now, I've decided to put on my 18 to 55mm lens for the reason that I've got a circular polarizer for it. And that'll cut out any of the glare that I've got on the camera, any of the water, any of the glare from the sun, and also any of the reflection on the rocks as well. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take that picture and I'll post out for you in just a second. My second shot, I'm just going to come down a little bit closer to the camera here. So for my second shot, I've decided to put the camera into portrait mode. I'll show you a live view of what it is that I've got at the moment. So that's what I'm seeing. I want to be able to get some of the trees just above the waterfall in the shot as well. I think that'll add some story to the picture, which is always a good thing when you're looking at images. At the moment I've got a shutter speed of about 4 seconds, aperture f9, ISO 100, and that is again with the 18 to 55mm lens with the circular polarizer on it. So I'm going to take this shot. I'm quite happy with the way it's composed. I'm going to take the shot and I'm going to post it up for you and let you see what it looks like. So for my next shot, I've come down into the river. I've got my wellies on, so it's okay. There's a lot of midges flying about as well. So if you live in Scotland and you say you don't get affected by midges, then you're lying, because there's loads of them about just now. So I haven't been bitten yet, but there's a few been dropping onto my hand. So we'll see. I won't know until later, until I'm covered in red spots and I'm all bitten by the midges. So yeah, so I've set the camera up. I've gone to portrait mode. I've put my 10 to 18mm wide lens on with a circular polarizer on the front. And what I'm trying to capture in this shot is the rocks that you see in front of the camera there, with the water just cascading down, and also the waterfall in the background as well. So I'm trying to get it all in the shot, and hopefully with the rocks in the foreground that should add some interest to the image and make for a really nice composition. So I'm going to go ahead, going to take that shot again, and I'm going to post it up and let you see what I got. Okay, so I've come away from the waterfall now, and as I was coming up, I've noticed that the sun is starting to peek through the clouds and just cast some shadows and some nice light through the trees onto some of the leaves. So I've put my 70 to 300mm lens on, and I'm going to try and shoot some macro photography with this lens. Hopefully we'll get some nice light on some ferns and maybe some trees as well, which will make for a really nice image. And I sit here just for a few seconds, just taking the view and the surroundings, as I always like to do that when I'm out on a photography shoot, just because it's something that sometimes you don't need to take a picture all the time. It's nice to just embrace the landscapes. So I'm going to do that in a few seconds. I'm going to go off down the path here and see what I can capture. Okay, so we're here. I've arrived at this spot that I wanted to take the pictures of the ferns. You'll see them here. They go quite far back as well, so even if I decide to use the long lens, it'll have the depth of field in the image as well. Most of the shots that I'm going to be doing with the 70 to 300 is going to be small apertures, so it blurs out the background and just gets the leaves in focus at the front. So I'm going to go ahead, take a few shots, and we'll see what we get. That's it for today's video at Dunnottar Woods here today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below. Also, if you've got any comments or anything like that, please leave them in the comments section below. I'd love to hear your feedback, let you know what you think of my videos and how I can improve them in the future. So I want to say thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.